Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tarot Talk Live. My name is Catherine. Let's go ahead and get started with your reading for today. We are going to be looking at conspiracy theory, and I think this is episode number 66. All right, and this is May the 14th. And I know on the last episode we looked at when, okay, and now we are on the final question. We have been looking at who, what, where, why, when, and now how. Okay, so May the 14th, and we're looking at Nancy Guthrie, and we're asking questions. About how did this happen? Okay, how did things go down? All right, so I know there were a couple of questions that we didn't get to because that last reading got extremely emotional. I was a little emotionally overwhelmed. So, you're not supposed to really put your emotions into the situation at all. So I had to end the reading just based on the information that we were getting. It was a lot. Okay. It was a lot. And y'all let me know how you feel about that last reading. Just let me know in the comments what you think. You don't have to say names. We're not accusing anyone on this channel. Everything on this channel is for entertainment purposes. And it's all alleged. Okay. So, but we do have some questions. And to kind of re-ask the question of that we asked previously, we just want to know how did Nancy get to A&T's home earlier that day? We were going to ask about the Uber, when the Uber driver came, but we want to know how did Nancy actually get there? Okay. And I'm going to try to keep it down to 2 cards per question, 2 oracle messages, and then we'll follow up with the tarot just so we can get through it all. All right. How did the perps clear some room here? How did the perps get Nancy out of her bed and out of the house? By force? Did they tell her? How did they do this? How did the perps, we're just calling them perps, get directions or get Nancy's address address and directions to her house? How have the perps been able to avoid getting caught? being caught, getting caught, getting arrested. Okay. And a very important question. How is the immediate family dealing with one another right now? Okay, this includes sisters, spouses, you know, and that's it. How is the immediate family dealing with, whether this is communication or otherwise, one another? Okay, right now. Sisters, spouses, close, immediate family, brother, okay? All right. And then lastly, another important question I feel, how, big how will this case end? How will this case end? Period. Solved or cold? You know what I mean? Are they going to solve it or will it go cold? Okay. So here are the questions. We have them all written out. We're going to ask them all in order. Let's get started. We are going to use the collective tarot box today. So I have that ready to go first. And let's get to shuffling, okay? All right. I hope everybody is doing well. Please go ahead and hit those like buttons for me if you didn't already. I appreciate you all so much for doing that. It does help the channel. Vote for me if you can, if you have the option to vote. And make sure you're subscribed. I do a giveaway, and I will be once we get to 100 subscribers. We're just a few away. Go ahead and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. All right, first question. All right, first question. How did Nancy get to A&T's home? Okay, because we were going to ask about the Uber driver, but we don't know. So I haven't confirmed anything about any Uber drivers. So how did she get there? Well, we got a green card. Treat them the way you would treat your question mark. Greedy and selfish. Well, I got more than two. We got mansions and dream cars. So somebody came. Mansions and dream cars. So someone sent a car. Did someone send for her? Someone sent the Uber driver. Treat them the way you would treat your question mark. Greedy and selfish. What does greedy and selfish have to do with it? So, I've gotten this before when we asked a similar question, like, why did they send an Uber driver? Why not go get her? And from what I was seeing was that perhaps they were too busy. It wasn't a priority for them. They had other things they were doing that they felt were more important. So I feel that that falls in line with greedy and selfish. And treat them the way you would treat you're like, how would you treat your mom? You know what I mean? I'm just getting this energy of, yeah, they sent the ride because no one had time to do it, I guess. They were doing other things. Let's look at the tarot messages. And I'm having to shuffle these cards the long way so that I don't have to open my hands very wide. I had to take some pain medication and get some rest. So I have been doing that. I got a lot of rest on yesterday, guys. I didn't get a chance to do any readings on my other channel like I wanted to because I am under doctor's orders and I do have to take it easy. So that's what I've been doing. All right. So hopefully I'll be back on track very soon. And I'm right at the tail end of my move. So there's that. All right, guys, but things are going well. So we're going to fan these out. I find it easier. All right, so we're going to just pull here. So how did Nancy get to AMT's home? What's around that energy? Ace of Pentacles here. Ace of Pentacles, a new opportunity. This also is all about manifesting and getting what you want, right? Ace of Pentacles, and now we have the Ace of Swords. Interesting. Two aces here. All about how it began. And this talks about some sort of someone who's dealing with something, or this also is all about communication. So Pentacles refer to time and energy. It's also earth energy. This is all about having time, not having enough time. Did someone call, a ride because they didn't have time to physically go and get her? But this was greedy and selfish, and they weren't treating her properly. I mean, we have the King of Pentacles coming up again. King of Pentacles keeps coming up here in this reading. And we have the Eight of Swords tied up, all tied up. So the King of Pentacles was all tied up, couldn't go and get her for whatever reason. A call was made, and we have the Star. Okay, so this is all about public. And we have the Hermit. Now this is Nancy with the Star here. And this Hermit is Virgo energy. Publicly, someone who's, staying back. Both of these cards represent someone who's either reflecting on a situation or looking at themselves in a situation. Doing some soul searching. That is interesting. The Judgment card, okay? I'm sorry, the Judgment card and the Hermit is all about self-reflection. Okay? Both of these cards, self-reflection. And the Star, well, this reflects a very public, someone seeing something or being seen or being, you know what I mean? Almost like drawing attention to oneself. Do you know what I mean? Drawing attention to oneself. Could it be? We have another ace here, Ace of Cups. Could it be that this person was trying to not draw attention to themselves? Like you picked her up, you didn't notice anything, you dropped her off, you didn't notice anything. The fact that getting an Uber driver involved, it's like almost like trying to come up with a way to put the attention on someone else. I want to know whose idea it was, but we can ask that as a bonus question in the next reading. All right, so let's go for the next question here. How did the perps get Nancy? How did the perps physically get Nancy out of her bed? We're going to look at the True Emotional Oracle deck here. All right, just to see what it says here and what the energy is surrounding the cards. And looking at the images, the colors may make you feel a certain way. So just let me know what you guys think as I pull these cards and show these images to you. All right, so if I can, some of these images you can't show, but I will show what I can. All right, how did the perps get Nancy out of her bed and out of the house? Okay, let's fan these out. I've been coming up with creative ways to not use my left hand, which is out of commission. So I just don't want to strain it in any ways at all. All right, so here we go. Okay, pop the question. So they literally asked her. Someone literally asked her to get out of the bed. Okay. Or there was a command, you know what I'm saying? And I know that I did a previous reading about what she heard or what something like what she heard or what she may have intuitively felt. And I feel like she called out and asked if someone was there. So it was like they startled her. Round and round. Cycles, triggers, and lessons. That's interesting here. They triggered her. It was out of fear. It was a command that was given. And again, I know she would have needed assistance. And I'm just trying to figure out did she live alone if she was so unable to get around? And how was she able to be by herself? You know what I mean? We have illumination here. Truth, discovery, and awakening. So she woke up, and I feel like she discovered, or there's an energy of discovering that someone is there. You know what I mean? There was a feeling, I feel like, that someone was there, when she woke up, she was startled. How did she get out of the house? So this is out of the bed. How was it that the perps got Nancy out of the house? So they startled her up out of the bed. We have memories here. Queen B, secure, confident, boss B, and career focused. This is someone who's looking at pictures of someone, thinking about someone that they know, someone, hmm, someone from the past, and a boss. Let's see what else we get here. Fake busy, someone holding a cup in their hands. Gosh, this person has some rough looking hands here. Well, they're actually, this is clay. They're molding. It looks like they're holding a cup, but it's like they're molding something. Fake busy. You know, you think about when you mold clay, isn't there a wheel that spins? This is someone who's spinning their wheels. Distraction, creating some sort of a distraction. This was planned. There was some sort of a leader or someone calling the shots, turning your back, see, looking over their shoulder. So there was some sort of a person that was creating a distraction, or someone who was making sure they were following some sort of a plan, or someone was calling the shots. And we have trap. They had her somehow secured in some sort of a binding, something that was binding that she couldn't get out of. They had her confined while someone was looking. Someone was being a getaway or a lookout person. Okay. All right. So let's move on. How did the perps get Nancy's address and directions to her house? How did the perps get Nancy's address and directions to her house? Spell love. Oop, messed up over you. Thug. So this is someone who was calling the shots. There was a master manipulator. And with thug here, this is some sort of messed up over you. So it's like people who were angry or upset, I feel, in combination with someone who was known to law enforcement or someone who is known to have committed other crimes. Some sort of master manipulator, along with some sort of person with some sort of a history of being upset, and then also someone who had committed other crimes previously. I feel like there was a mastermind, someone who was in cahoots, and someone who had some sort of a emotional upset with Nancy. Let's see what the tarot says here. Look at this. So we have the Three of Cups. Y'all know what this is. Friends and family. Someone that was related or had some sort of a connection to Nancy. With the Page of Swords. I'm telling you right now, there was someone on the outside communicating, calling the shots, or someone who is getting information, some outside source, and this was by way of a third party connection. This is all coming together. And we have the Six of Pentacles here. This represents someone getting help. Help. Someone who is the person calling the shots, and the other people are just waiting to receive something from this person. Definitely soulmate energy related as well. This can represent someone who is in a give and receive connection. Okay. You tell me what you think. Under the deck, we have the Seven of Cups. That's how they got her out of, well, this is options, okay? Or this is an energy of someone who has a lot of options, or there's also an energy of someone who doesn't know everything. They don't know. There's a bit of confusion when it comes to the Seven of Cups. It talks about not having all the information or being a bit confused, and I just feel like it's someone who is not knowing everything. Look, we have the Four of Swords, which definitely confirms this is someone who's asleep. They don't have all of the information. They're sleeping on the truth here. That one sword represents truth, right? There's something that this person is not really sure about, or they don't really have all the information. Things are definitely very one-sided here. Yeah, there was someone else working with and they were keeping it quiet here. How have the perps been able to avoid being caught or arrested? Is it just by sheer luck? Living in the moment. Okay. Um, I feel again that there were people behind the scenes that knew more than the ones that were carrying out the situation. Okay. And they're literally people that are waiting. It's like almost like spur of the moment. See, we have getting readings. See, there's an energy of people who are waiting on information before they make a move. Do you know what I mean? They're not just going to up and jump and do anything, like living in the moment, but getting readings. They're being very careful about making like moves. Love child, see, waiting later. There's an energy of waiting later to manifest something. They're waiting until later to start doing things, right? Love child, it represents like waiting until later in life, right? To do things that most people do earlier. You know what I mean? So, sweet talk, okay? Hmm. It's like they're doing the things that they think that they're doing everything that they think that law enforcement is not expecting. You know what I mean? It's almost like someone who thinks that they know what to do, everything to do. They know exactly what to say, when to say it. Workplace affair. Okay. Again, this is someone who is very skilled. Okay. Someone who is very skilled. And with workplace affair, I feel like there are people that are involved. Losing sleep, worried, replaying events, thinking about you. So, this is a combination of people who are basically being very careful, but there's also an energy of not sleeping, not sleeping, staying on their toes. You know what I mean? Staying on their toes. And with getting readings, they're trying to get information and probably are. They may have an insight into information. They may be watching tarot readings to get information, you know? You never know. So let's see what the tarot messages say. So it appears that they have been staying up, working overtime, pretty much is what I'm getting here, to stay ahead of uh, the police, so that they can know what to say, when to say it, how to say it, what to do, what not to do, where to go, where not to go. So we have the hanged man. Okay. And the hanged man is all about really not having any real direction. There's also an energy of somebody who is contemplating or doing a lot of thinking, right? They spent a lot of time thinking before they took action, okay, or put their plan into action here. And we have the Six of Swords, quick, getaway. They moved out quickly. Okay. After carrying out this event, there's energy of moving away from the situation, the scene, and completely acting as though nothing ever happened, right? Like these swords are just completely behind this person. They don't even, there's an energy of just, they're separating themselves from this. A quick separation. They thought it through. They thought it through how they were going to get away. We have the Knight of Cups. Okay, again, this is the energy of somebody who's gone back and forth over the situation. They played out the scenario over and over again. They didn't sleep. They played this out. You know what I mean? They played out the events. What is going to happen? You know what I mean? With getting readings, how is this going to happen? What's going to happen in the future? They've played out these events and they were very practiced, right? With workplace affair. Like they spent a lot of time working on this plan. And by the time they carried that out with Love Child, with Sweet Talk, like they knew exactly how to get, pretty much get, make this thing happen. You see what I'm saying? We have the Page of Wands here. That is the energy of somebody who's taking action, and also somebody who is kind of, you know, very quick. They're not thinking, they're acting, they're just moving. Why? Because they don't have to think at this moment because they've already thought things through. I do feel that there were events that took place that none of them ever assumed would, right? Under the deck, the Three of Wands. Again, this is all about movement. Okay. This is also about getting from point A to point B. You know what I'm saying? Moving to the next phase, making a quick getaway. I feel like that is how they were able to do it. And we have the Knight of Pentacles. Again, this is all about moving very slow. But they weren't. They thought things through, right? You have the Knight of Wands here. This is all about taking quick action. Okay. This is a very, very fast moving energy, that Knight of Wands. Very free spirited and hot tempered. This is somebody who is able to move quick in a very high sensitive situation. And we have 10 of Cups here. And this is how friends and family. This 10 of Cups represents friends and family. This represents an inside situation. So this was a job that had a lot of outside planning and inside help. That is how they were able to get away. We have the Wheel of Fortune. Again, this is how they are able to have made it this far. Outside planning and inside help. Okay. Hot temps inside and very cold temperatures outside. Wow. Okay. How is the immediate family dealing with one another? And we're talking sisters, spouses, the brother. Just what is the energy around how the family is dealing with one another right now? Right now. Spiritual, and this is chaos. This is all about a downward spiral. Things are not going well. Okay? Things are not going well, and it says spiritual awakening. There's some sort of downward spiral between the communications and how they're dealing with one another now. We have Smex addiction coming in. This is an energy of, you know, somebody's inner dirty laundry coming out, perhaps, or someone who is having a downward spiral because of some sort of information that someone may have not wanted to get out. Okay, you think if somebody has that going on, they don't want others to know. And we have this clown coming up again. This jackass energy, this. And I did see something after I did that last reading, y'all, about how they said the porch guy, they refer to him as a clown. Do y'all know that? The porch clown or the clown on the porch, they keep calling him a clown because he was. Everything he did was very clownish. Very, very clownish. Ghosted. Look at this. Look at this. And both of these have painted faces. It's almost like an energy of someone wearing a mask, or someone is being seen as being very, see, this literally says it, off and on, hot and cold and detached. And almost like they painted their face like, we can't even recognize you. And perhaps somebody feels as though they've been played in a very, very interesting way here. Let's look at the tarot messages. How are they, the immediate family, dealing with one another? Wow, those cards just went every which way. I'm gonna pick them up. Some of these went in the reverse, which is interesting because all of my cards I haven't been taking any reversals. Let's go ahead and take these because I feel like they came out in the reverse for a reason, y'all. We got the Lovers in the reverse. Under the deck here, we got the Five of Swords. So this is interesting. I decided to take these cards because that happened for a reason. So, and there was another card that I pulled back that was also in the reverse. I think it was the Page of Cups. But we're going to go with what we have because I can't immediately find that card. So I'm not going to say that that's what it was. But I'm almost, let's see. I don't know. I can't really say. But I can tell you what I do see. The Six of Cups is here and it's in the reverse. Okay, this is all about some sort of holding on to something from the past, right? Very, very toxic. Okay. Five of Cups is all about someone having remorse. The Lovers in the reverse, well, this is just all about third party energy. This is also a card of betrayal. Someone breaking some sort of a bond or a promise. This is very two-faced energy. This is all about disharmony and lack of balance. That pretty much spells it out. Do I need to say more? I don't think so. I don't think so, y'all. Behind the Five of Swords, we have the Five of Wands. Do I need to keep going? Because this is all about a very, very energetic. This is a energetically charged shift. It's a breakdown. It is a pure breakdown. Okay, people are fighting each other. behind all of this, we have the Queen of Pentacles. What are they fighting over in regards to this nurturing energy? The truth. The truth. Is the truth coming out about what happened to their mom? And we have this Two of Cups coming up. This couple. Could there be truth about a couple that is coming up? That is causing some issues behind the scenes. How will this case end? How will this case end? Let's see. Secrets. Love will turn to hate. Secrets will be revealed. Reckless love, and then that Smex is coming in. Feeling like ish. Someone is going to be feeling extremely bad. There's some information that is coming out about a very, very toxic situation that it's going to be, I feel like it's just going to not be very good. Whatever it is, it's going to be not good here. Rejected. Someone's going to end up rejecting someone close. And look, y'all, look at this. Do you see the last card? I decided to pull 2 more cards. We have rejected and we have police station. So I feel like it's going to be solved, because that was the question. Is it going to be solved or is it going to go cold? You know what I mean? How will this case end? Will it be rejected by the police, or will someone be rejected and it will end in someone calling the police because of this secret? It's like people we love, now we, there's the opposite word, hate, which is a very bad 4-letter word. Tell me about this energy here. How will this case end? Well, we have the Knight of Swords. Okay. This is an energy about a game changer. Something is going to shift. It's going to move very quickly. There's going to be a very dramatic shift. This also refers to someone coming in to rescue someone. So let's just see. Well, we have the 3 of Swords. There it is. This is all about loss, heartbreak. And if you look, yeah, the Knight of Swords and the 3 of Swords. Dramatic turn of events, and it's going to lead to heartbreak and loss. We have the Page of Cups. This is all about somebody in their head, or really thinking about something, or being emotional about a situation. This also is a surprise ending. This talks about being surprised, not, expecting it, or looking in a different direction, perhaps. And then the 6 of Wands. This is all about public attention. This also is about success or victory. There's going to be some sort of surprise situation that comes up. It's going to be a public sort of situation here. Let's pull two more. And we have the Queen of Wands. Okay. So this is all about confidence. This is also about being very secure. So this case is going to, I feel, end. This also represents someone who's getting involved or getting in the middle. And we have the High Priestess. Okay. Divine intervention. Divine intervention. The end, the world, y'all. This is how it is going to end. And we have the Ace of Cups here. This is a new beginning. This is all about some sort of a new opportunity coming up. This also talks about moving to the next level, having an abundance of something or of emotions, or just starting over, being able to start over. You have an ending and a new beginning. This is closure. Do you see what this represents here? Closure and a new start, starting over, being able to start over. Okay, building new relationships. So there's going to be a heartbreak ending situation. There's going to be love-hate. It's going to end up at the police station. That is literally, and we got the World was the first card under the deck, y'all. So I don't know how else to tell you. Take this reading how it resonates, okay? There were a little bit of spots in there that were a little sketchy, but it all came together. Some of the cards, it was like, huh? And then it was like, oh, okay. And when I knocked those cards in the reverse, you guys, I had no indication that that was going to happen. And so that's why I decided, since I'm not really shuffling the same way, you know, a lot of the reversals that usually come out sometimes in the readings are not coming out, and that's fine. That is fine. You can read the cards in the reverse or not. It's up to the reader. Okay. All right. So there it is, y'all. I hope you guys enjoyed the message, loves. We will be asking more of the bonus questions in the shorts, conspiracy theory shorts. So look for some of those to come out. I'm also looking, we are going to be looking at other cases. If there's anything that you guys would like for me to look into, or any specific questions you would like asked when I go live, I am going to be answering questions during the live, but I need to receive you guys' entries either in the comments or via email if you want to remain anonymous. Okay, it could be a personal question. It could be about something that is a case that is out there that we have not looked at yet. So I am taking your suggestions. This is Tarot Talk Live because this channel is interactive. I am going to be getting more into the purpose and the design of the actual channel, okay, and what it was for. So I am going to be taking you guys' suggestions more often. So please email me at queencancertarot@gmail.com and let me know what you want to see. If you have a question you would like asked during the live, when we go live, let me know if you would like to remain anonymous or if you don't mind. It doesn't matter. It's up to you. I love you guys. Make sure you guys hit those like buttons for me. It really helps with the growth of the channel, and that is our goal this year. Let's get to 100 subscribers, you guys. I love you. Take care, and I will see you on the next conspiracy theory. Bye.